and welcome back to my channel. So today I bring you a tutorial using the new Anastasia self-made palette. So when I saw that she was coming out with this palette, I knew I had to have it, and I knew as soon as I got it, I needed to film a tutorial right away for you guys. So I posted a look on IG, on the gram. Let's see, let me go back because it was a few days ago already. By the way, I filmed this video today and I'm posting it tonight, so this is all like, you're going to be seeing this in real time almost. Not real time, but on the same day I filmed it. So let's see. I posted this picture or this look 4 days ago. Here is the look. So for those of you that already have this palette, you're definitely just going to want to use this tutorial to jump right in and create looks with it. For those of you that are probably like, let me see what people have to say about this palette, let me see what this palette can do, let me be the first to tell you that it's definitely not a disappointment. This is a great palette. This is the most shadows that she's ever put in a palette, and it's only for $35, and I say only because fairly for good quality shadows, this would probably be around $50. So definitely a good value, good quality. The only thing, if I had to say something negative or what I disliked about this palette, is the fact that I wish she would have put more matte shades in here, only because all of these colors are, for the most part, pretty vibrant. A lot of them are metallic or shimmery. That's great and all, but for me, I love a palette. Oh, I just dug my nail into this. I love a palette that I can just use all in one. For this particular palette, I do find myself having to dip into other shadows just to complete the look. But other than that, I totally give this a thumbs up. Definitely worth your purchase. There's a lot of fun shades in here, a lot of shades that complement a lot of different skin tones, which is always... Wait. Yeah, that's my ringtone. I had to get that ringtone. It was so cool. My friend Jomi, she's on here by the way too, on YouTube. I'll link her channel down below. Love Jomi. She snapped about that ringtone, and I was like, got to have that ASAP. Like, who's not loving that song right now? Other than everything that I just said right now, the palette is totally worth it. Great investment. Oh, by the way, I also really wanted to thank you guys for your sweet comments on my last video. I felt so much love, I guess you could say, because it makes me really happy to know that you guys would love to see more videos from me. I just don't ever want to annoy you guys with like putting too much stuff out there. If you're like, okay, comment, we don't want to see your face that often. But the fact that you guys want to see more tutorials really just like, oh, it gets me so excited. So I'm definitely going to do the 3 videos a week thing. I mentioned this on Snapchat. I will definitely try my best to push out a 3rd video spontaneously every week. So I'm not going to have a set day for it because I don't want to make a promise to you guys and then not be able to deliver that promise. But I will be pushing out a 3rd video every week, and it's just going to be like a surprise for you guys because I think that's kind of also a little bit more fun too. So just keep an eye out. Make sure you're subscribed so you get those notifications on your phone too whenever I do upload. And yeah, the 3rd video will be surprises each week. So there you go, guys. And also, I just kind of wanted to quickly mention, I was just kind of like thinking this over the other day too, that I feel like I've gotten to a point with my channel, especially since now that I have over 12,000 of you guys here with me, which is like super amazing because I never even thought I would have 1,000. But the fact that I have 12,000 of you guys here with me and my following on Instagram and all my other social media platforms and stuff, I feel like I kind of want to do a Q&A, like just Q&A questions. Anything doesn't have to be beauty related, just so you guys can get to know me a little bit better and know my personality and stuff, just to like, you know, we can know each other on a deeper level. And yeah, so if you guys would like to see a Q&A video, let me know down below so I can start planning when to film that, and that way I can let you guys know when to start submitting your questions and where to submit them. So let me know down below how you would feel about a get to know me Q&A video, okay? So yeah, that's definitely it. I'm totally done. This intro is way too long. Let's move on to this tutorial. So I was just about to get started on putting on my MAC paint pot when I suddenly realized I forgot the tape. I did use Scotch tape to line my eyes for this look. So just take a regular piece of Scotch tape and you're going to want to line the tape to your bottom lashes, and now we are ready. I am then taking my MAC Paint Pot in soft ochre and just on a fluffy eyeshadow brush, placing that all over my entire lid. The first shadow I'm going to be using from the palette is Buttery, and just on a fluffy brush, this one is from Morphe, I'm going to be dusting this all over my entire lid area to create a smooth base. Then I'm going to be taking my Bobbi Brown eyeshadow in Camel, and on my Bobbi Brown eye blender brush, working this first onto the inner corner of my eye in circular motions, and then going and gradually pushing this into my crease area for a transition from the dark smokiness from the bottom lid up into the crease. I'm taking a mixture of hot chocolate and witchy, and on a Real Techniques essential crease brush, working that into the outer V and then pushing that into the crease. Then picking up a little bit of Spirit Rock, and on a pencil brush, I am first dusting this and building this onto the inner C of the eye, and then also building that onto the outer V of the eye with that Real Techniques brush. Again, you want to work gradually, don't put on too much too soon. Once I have a nice gradual build, I'm then going to just use whatever's left on my brush to connect those two over in the crease area. Then I'm picking up a little bit of Hot and Cold, and then I'm going to be just pressing this onto the area where we left blank, and just doing a pressing and sliding down motion. Then picking up a little bit of Pink Champagne, I am then wetting it with some MAC Fix Plus, just about 2 spritz, and then again, just pressing and sliding this down onto that open area. Then using whatever's left on that brush, I'm going to be making sure to really blend in those inner and outer corners so we have a nice smooth transition. Then removing the tape, I am using that baseline that the tape created and picking up some of my Sigma gel liner in Wicked onto an angle brush and starting off my wing liner and just doing it as usual. Then I'm going to be priming my face with my Too Faced Hangover Primer. Since I'm going to be using a more matte foundation, I wanted to use a moisturizing primer for this just so we're not too dried out. So just making sure to work this smoothly all over our face. For foundation, I'm using my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation in the shade 102. And on a Morphe foundation brush, I'm going to be just pressing this into my skin using a stippling motion to get a better coverage and to get a more full coverage, and also making sure to carry this down my neck area, since my neck does tend to gradually fade into a darker color as I go towards my chest. So just making sure to really smooth this foundation over. This is definitely one of my favorite drugstore foundations at the moment. Then taking my Maybelline Master Conceal and just placing this concealer underneath my eye area along my nostrils, also bringing it up pretty close up the side of my nose for a little bit of a nose contour as well, also down the center of my nose, a little bit in the center of my chin, and right in between my eyebrows as well. Then taking a damp beauty blender and really making sure to press this evenly into our skin, melting the concealer and foundation all together. Now, I'm actually not going to be baking since, like I said, these two products, concealer and foundation, are actually pretty matte, so I don't have to worry too much about oil control. But what I am doing is taking a little bit of my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder onto a Real Techniques setting brush and just dusting this underneath our eyes and a little bit in our T-zone where we had placed that concealer, just to set it and so it doesn't get too oily later on, if it does. Then I'm taking my Hoola bronzer from Benefit and on a large powder brush, just making sure to warm up my cheekbones, the top of my forehead, temple area, and also along my jawline. Then picking up a little bit of Anastasia highlighting powder in Banana, and on a Bobbi Brown sheer powder brush, I'm making sure to press this underneath my eye area and dusting a little over my T-zone just to add some color so it's not so stark white. Then picking up some Fawn contour powder, by the way, onto the Sonia Kashuk small flat brush and just doing a little bit of some nose contour action. I don't know the name of this brush because it came in a set. Then switching over to a Morphe brush that is very similar to that previous brush but just a lot larger. I'll link the name of it down below or list it down below so you guys know. I mentioned this in my last video too. And just sharpening up my cheekbone contour with this, with the same Fawn powder. Taking some Balm Maryloumanizer, I'm first highlighting my Cupid's bow, center of my chin, and also down the bridge of my nose. And then taking my Bobbi Brown eye blender brush, a clean one, and then I'm going to be running this alongside the top of my cheekbones and dragging it downward towards the apple of my cheek. I saw this technique used by Nikki Tutorials on her Snapchat from Kim. I don't know her full Instagram name, but if you guys follow Nikki, you know what I'm talking about. And I really liked the way it came out, so I decided to try it on myself, and I'm digging it, not gonna lie. Then picking up a little bit of Benefit Rockateur blush onto a Bobbi Brown face blender and just lightly dusting this over the apples up towards our temple and into our hairline for a nice gradual fade. Then for my lip color, I'm using ColourPop Ultra Matte Liquid Lipstick in Trap and working this quickly and neatly onto my lips with a lip brush. Once that's on, moving on to finish off the eyes. I'm taking my Sigma Gel Liner in Liberally Toasted. This is a nice medium brown shade and just placing that on my waterline and also just below my bottom lashes. Then taking a MAC 212 brush and picking up a little bit of hot chocolate, I'm pressing that up against my bottom lashes and then just taking a pencil brush with some more Bobbi Brown Camel and just further smoking that bottom lash line out. I then picked up some Treasure from that palette and also placed it on my brow bone and my inner corner highlight. Then taking my Bougie eyelash curler from Tarte, absolutely love it, and just curling my lashes and then giving myself a quick coat of mascara on my top and bottom lashes before we go on and apply some falsies. This is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes, I believe, mascara. It's a little sample size one. For lashes, I'm using my Shot Violet Voss lashes in the style Dolls Just Want to Have Fun, and while the glue is drying on those, I'm going to be spraying myself with some MAC Fix Plus Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, and then fixing my hair. Once my hair is fixed, here is the completed look, also with the eyelashes on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I really like the way that this look came out, and I love this whole color palette for the fall as well. If you guys like this tutorial, let me know down below. Give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.